America Drum, and I have teamed up with mywaste.ie to teach you about my tips in the kitchen. So I have some sustainable kind of ways that I've only really learned about and started changing over the past few years. Some I've had forever without realizing, and yeah, I'm here to show you. It's reuse month, so I'm not going to get too preachy about anything. I just want to encourage all of us maybe to make one or two changes in the kitchen. Some things you might see here that you have never even heard of or didn't even know. And so I think learning, education and knowing what isn't great for our environment and planet, unfortunately, but there's definitely some amazing changes happening. So many innovators out there creating these deadly new products to help us. So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to get started. Sit back, relax and enjoy it. Comment underneath if you want or ask me questions, but I'm going to show you the bits I use. So first of all, roasting dishes, tin foil, parchment paper. Parchment paper is not too bad, especially if we buy the unbleached version, which would be the brown one. But again, it's very hard to recycle because usually it's got, you know, food on it. No matter what we're cooking with, it's got food on it. So with that, I would encourage you to maybe have a look at one of these products. Here's my solution. This is a well-used tray. I'm sure we all have these. And I'm delighted to say it's well used because that's what I do. So I don't need to throw it away. It doesn't buckle. Yeah, it's not gorgeous looking, but it's practical and functional. And I've probably had that since, you know, I've had my own kitchen, I suppose, maybe 10 years. They just have come with me forever. And this is a well used one. They even cut a hole in it. These reusable sheets. So they have got plastic or silicone. And basically you just lay them down as if it's the base of your tray, as if it's tin foil. The silicone mat, they're actually quite easy to find. I think different shops throughout the cities or online, but the silicone mat is probably my favorite. It's really sturdy, really thick, nothing sticks to it, so easy to wash, and I think it is kind of pretty. Not that I care too much, but when you know, you might be doing stories or something about it. So that's great. The silicone one's particularly good, I find, for baking. But then this, I just wanted to show you the packet. There's a non-stick oven liner. Let me show you one of these brand new. Essentially, you can take it off your tray. Your tray is still clean, but your mat needs to be washed. Some of them can go in the dishwasher on a low wash as well if you want it, or hand washed. See this guy? He's huge. So what I'll do with that is I'll cut it down the center, and then I have two. I don't need all these now. I might actually give this to someone, but because I have so many. And the thing is, you don't need to buy more because you'll have them forever. And actually, that's another thing. All the tips I'm showing you today, all of them, are money saving. Eventually, okay. First, it's a bit of an investment. The silicone mat, I can't remember the pricing of them, but they're definitely more than the cost of a packet of parchment paper. I get it, but over time, I promise you, it will bring money back to you. There's another silicone thing that I find amazing. So these are muffin trays or cupcakes, or I do little kind of eggy things as snacks, and they just pop out instead of using paper. But again, also not even paper, even if you were just to grease a normal metal tin, don't they always stick? Always stick and always messy. You lose half your cupcake or whatever else. So these are amazing and they stop you wasting any food. So that is one little set so far. The next thing is when you are leaving the house or you're running around, and this is kind of on the go, but it still comes under the category of kitchen because obviously it has to come back to your kitchen to be washed, or it comes from your kitchen to bring it with you. So for me, it is all the bits that I usually carry with me depending on where I'm going, but definitely 100%, even no matter where I go, I bring my bottle of water. So this water bottle is really sturdy. They have a thermos kind of in them. They keep things warm, they keep things cold, whatever way you want it. Any sort of bottle, be careful of the BPA-free plastics, but that's my always on the go water bottle. I don't buy bottles of water anymore. Obviously lots of plastic bottles have come from recycled materials and can be recycled, but why not use one of these? You know, recycling is great, but it's not really the best. It's the better of two evils. So one of these is brilliant. My keep cup, I have one in my car and one in my house that I bring all the time around with me. So a keep cup for my coffees, metal straws, these are flying around my handbags and stuff. Not many places are giving out straws as much these days. I've started bringing Tupperwares to my butcher. This one's a bit small, but usually a bit bigger, to get my food products from them instead of them using plastic bags. But Also, if you know you're going out for dinner, it's great to bring something like this or lunch where you might not eat all your food and you can get the leftovers. You're just helping them as well. It's costing them less money because they don't have to use their takeaway containers. The other thing is shopping bags. We all know about this, and Ireland was amazing. We were one of the first countries to do it, where we put a levy on our plastic shopping bags, and I actually think it changed all of our mindsets for the better about plastic and plastic bags. So now most of us carry around bags, and cloth bags are brilliant because, especially like this is like a makeup bag I got somewhere or something. They're great for your vegetables. So you know the way you can get loose vegetables now, I use those to weigh out my loose vegetables. That's it really when you're leaving the house. They're some of my favourite things. In the home, I have little tips for you. So I try and keep quite a lot of things. Obviously we have Tupperware drawers coming out our ears, but if you keep the ones that you know you'll use more often, so say something like this. This is a massive big yogurt container. It takes up a lot of space. Yeah, it's recyclable, but it's best if you think you might need it for something, as in instead of going to buy Tupperware, it works perfectly. And it's really good, I find, for meals for two, fit in there really well and into the freezer. Another thing, I've just invested in these fantastic silicone bags. They're brilliant for liquids, so I freeze a lot of soups and stocks. So they stack like that, standing across your freezer if you want. You can lie them down either. And there's a few different sizes you can buy. Another reusey kind of thing I do is any jars, particularly if I like the shape like this one from jam or whatever you get. Glass is brilliant, it is recyclable, but again, it's best to maybe keep it if you can, or if you want to. Here I've just filled it with seeds. Obviously it's airtight, it's keeping everything safe and fresh. And more seeds here and another jar, so I just wash them and take off the stickers. This is like a tray, sorry it's a bit noisy, tray that I would get maybe seldomly. I might get a dinner that has come in this tray and bake the whole thing in the oven with the dinner, which is brilliant. Why would you throw it away? Just wash it again, it's another tray. So this can be used again, and like the soup, for freezing or for making a baked dinner and then into the freezer, or even as a gift to someone and they don't have to put it in their dish or whatever else. So that's my little tips for inside your house, different ways of reusing bits you might have gotten from different supermarkets. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about food storage. So the way we store our food is really important, because unfortunately not storing it properly has made us waste a little bit more, and I'm also honestly hold my hands up to it as well. So something like potatoes, they love being in a bag with air. Same for lots of vegetables, like broccoli you'd often see, or cucumber. Take it out and wrap it if you want in a tea towel or something, but actually they're totally fine just straight into the fridge. Okay, so this is just a normal Tupperware. Second, I buy my salad, I wash it, and then I put it into I have a dedicated tea towel that I use for my salad, just so it's not mixed up with all my other ones, it doesn't get washed in the other clothes or whatever else. And then I put my salad inside delicately, and just, even when it's still a little bit wet, that's quite good because the tea towel will absorb that moisture. And you're going to cover it over and let it just sit in the reason you could just roll it and keep it in the tea towel in the fridge, but I put it in a box just to protect the edges. You know, if you're throwing something into the fridge or you forget there's salad there, and I think salad is the biggest one we waste, folks. It's at the back of the fridge, gets squished, it goes watery. It won't here. This is going to absorb your water and will help keep moisture away, really. That's been in there, it's actually perfectly fresh. That's been in there for about 3 days. Wrap it in a little bit of this, and for extra safety, in a hard container in your fridge. Something I feel like we all forget. We go straight to cling film. We forget that, like, if you have some food in here, leftovers or something from dinner, simply a plate on top. That's what we used to do, right? Cover it with another porcelain, dish. That's so simple. But if you don't want to do that and you want to go a little bit, you feel like it mightn't be keeping it fresh enough, there's these amazing little silicone caps you can buy. So simple, you literally grab the edge of the bowl. They kind of shape over loads of different size bowls. So I'm going to have those forever. Wash them, dry them. Perfect. That's like, imagine a big bowl, there's a few people over and you haven't used it all, you wrap that little guy around and you have a bowl fresh for the next day. Or a massive situation when we use loads of cling film is when we're preparing for a party or we're preparing for dinner and it's not quite ready to be eaten until an hour or two later. And we put cling film over the top or wrap the cling film underneath and around. It's completely unnecessary. Something like this would be ideal. A plate, or another amazing, like I said earlier, there's some incredible innovations out there. Beeswax wraps. So if you haven't heard of them, they are usually beautiful material that has been dipped in the beeswax and therefore can now be malleable like this. So it scrunches into a ball or essentially wraps around your food. So like here's a nice big one. If you were to do sandwiches for kids for school or whatever, the sandwiches go in the middle and you fold around. I've done an example here to show you. Well, it was actually just in my fridge, but it's where I'd use half a lemon and then I put the flat of the lemon into my beeswax wrap, and the texture of the beeswax wraps literally clings to itself as it wraps around like that. There's another one for cheese, really perfect for cheese as well. Popping it into something like this where I can breathe a little bit because it's material, but also it's keeping it fresh. They are super easy to wash. Literally run them under the tap if they're not that soiled, or a little bit of your cleaning products. So that is my kind of food covering, keeping things fresh. There's a packet from those silicone. There's a little example of a pineapple on the back. I quite like that actually. Straight over the top of a pineapple. Juice or make smoothies or something and there might be a bit left over, so even over a glass in the fridge. Then I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the actual equipment we use in our kitchen. It is a bit of an investment moment to do this, and I understand not everyone can, and we all maybe need to just stick within our own budgets. But if you can afford it at any point in your life, invest in the stuff you are cooking with all the time. If you think about it, you're cooking with it all the time. Here I have a cast iron pan. Like, that was red. It's absolutely perfect and it gets used so often. I will have that forever unless it breaks, I don't know, or gets massive chips or something, but it won't. It's just so durable and really is a forever product. If you've got flimsy pans that you buy, you know, it's almost like fast fashion. If you're buying the cheapy things, they're going to end up not working for you forever, and they're cheap, so they'll break, they'll buckle. You'll go buy another one and another one. So if you're buying one pan for 10 quid, over 5 years you might buy 2 pans a year. You know, that's the investment in something like this. Here's a few more things. That would be something with the lid on it, so you can roast. Same with this guy. This is probably one of my best finds yet, and this is another kind of sustainable tip. Is I shop in charity shops quite a lot. This is, it has a lid there somewhere, but it's a Pyrex, the brand, and it cost me 10 quid. Again, about 10 years ago. I use it every day, or every time I'm cooking something that needs to go from the hob to the oven, that kind of thing. Soups, everything. It is so sturdy. I will again have this forever. And this guy, I've just cleaned it up. I'll show you my cleaning products now in a second. This guy is Le Creuset, and this has come from my mother, who got it 45 years ago as a wedding present. When I got it from her, it was pretty much black. I've taken everything off. Not, no offense to her, but it was just that it had been used so much, and I think she's changed colour schemes or whatever and wants to go with something else. But for me, it doesn't matter. It's the quality of this product. I will have this now. I know I'm going to have this forever, and hopefully that's another 45 years, so a 90, 100 year life of this dish, and then maybe even gets passed down. Like, it will never get old. So that's just a little tip really, and I don't mean to be too preachy about it, but try your best, if you can afford it, just to spend that little bit extra on the equipment that you use in your kitchen every day. Again, keep an eye out in charity shops and have a look for, not branded, but definitely high quality products when you're in charity shops. This is, maybe talking about high quality, maybe not too much high quality, but it is one of my favourite kitchen utensils, because instead of pouring something out and letting it drip and then the rest going into waste, make sure I scrape all the last of everything and not to waste anything. So that's those, and they're all really heavy, so keep them low down in your presses. I also wanted to show you a little bit about cleaning products. Just because it's part of the kitchen for me, obviously I'm all about food and cooking and what I use, but cleaning products are really important as well. Anything that we wash down our drain is essentially going into our waters and going into I see. I have a few different bits here and some really cool Irish brands, again being very innovative. That's Lilly's, that's an Irish brand as well. There's an eco spray and then like her washing up liquid, which is fantastic. Detergent for the dishwasher. Kind of wooden utensils for washing. This is deadly because sometimes people might throw away glass bottles if they've got stains on them. Something like that is brilliant. A brush. It's so straightforward. But do you know how great this is? I wash all my spuds, carrots, everything like that, and I don't peel them. If you want to tackle more really hard stains like I did with that dish, something like straight up bicarb, I use a bit of essential oil, some lemon in there and scrub away. And the very last thing, I have been Erica Drum showing you my sustainable kind of kitchen tips. I hope you enjoyed it. Please check out more of mywaste.ie. There's YouTube and Instagram and everything for loads of tips for Reuse Month and all the time as well. So I hope you have a great day and thanks for watching. Bye!